On this week's Nonsensible podcast.
And then I basically came back and I started driving Uber. So I got an Uber. I never told this story.
Maybe we've pickled ourselves with like soju from.
Soju's the key. That is it.
You're a soju guy,
Soju
right?
and panchan. Moved to New York in '97, trying to find myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then,
Really?
Yeah.
This is Nonsensible.
Welcome to another week of Nonsensible. We're almost at a year.
Almost there. Almost.
Almost a year.
Yeah. With Sam
Saul.
and today's special guest.
David. Where's the other David?
Where's the other David?
I don't know.
I never call him David.
Dave.
Do you call him David?
No.
Sounds
Dave the dope fiend, shoe fiend. Yeah.
like Dave the dope fiend shooting dope who don't know the meaning of water nor soap.
There you go.
I've never called him David. It seems like the kind of thing that would piss him off violently.
Violently.
Did you just call me David?
David.
Yeah,
David.
He wouldn't like that.
The
You know,
world of
you know Dave?
Yeah, I met him for times. I played basketball with him.
Ah, yeah.
Good guy. Workaholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Workaholic.
Yeah.
That guy is.
Indeed.
He
Yeah.
works his cute little buns off. That Dave.
Are they
That
cute,
David.
are they? Are they cute? I haven't confirmed that. Why do you have the fanny pack still on?
I was thinking you'd never ask.
He's ready.
This is a scar removal thing because I got cut playing basketball and this just won't go away.
Mhm.
$30 for that silicone scar removal. Got it in Shin-Nonyeon.
Okay.
Sunglasses.
Yep.
Got to have
Pretty cool
those.
sunglasses.
Oh, those nice.
My friend makes these. Company called BVH. Shout out BVH.
Looking good.
Throwing out the plug there.
I got this at a hotel.
It's a toothpaste.
Sanitizer.
Ah.
We've got lotion.
No. I understand that, but why do you still have it on?
Oh, I guess I could take it off.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
friends got it for me for my birthday.
I was just saying.
So I wanted to wrap some birthday stuff.
Okay. I was just thinking in the middle of the podcast, it's not
Take it
really
off?
necessary.
It's like wearing your shoes inside. It makes people think I'm about to leave.
Well, it's kind
Nonsensible.
of, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, why?
It's just nonsensible.
Why?
Hey, we're in the right place though.
Yeah.
Why? If you're going to do it anywhere, do it here. Do it here.
Today I was leaving the house and I forgot to put, I wanted to put money in it. So if someone asked me why I had it, I could be like, and I got racks and racks in here. But I didn't feel like walking back up the stairs when I remembered I forgot money.
People would think you're a loan shark.
Yeah.
You got like the loan shark bag.
Yeah.
A lot of you see the Korean men that carry around like the little man bags.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, they call them the ilsugaban.
Like Louis Vuitton.
They carry him like this too.
What are,
Yeah.
what are in those things?
Loads of cash. That's what ilsu in Korean is like. It means like daily interest.
Wow.
So it's like the
You knew this?
No.
I didn't
it's
know this.
the loan shark bag. So it's for a lot of the gangsters used to carry around those little bags under their like under their arm.
Now it's just
And it
really
was
handsome guys.
filled with cash.
Why are they? But now just it's like
Oh,
fashionable.
now it's fashionable, but back in the day it was like, and they'd pull out a wad of cash and they'd loan it to you, and they'd be like, okay, now it's like, all the interest is daily interest, and it'll cost you like, for $1,000, it's like $100 a day, kind of interest on top of it,
Oh, yeah.
compound. Yeah,
Beat.
yeah. If you don't pay it back, I'll kneecap you as well.
I thought it was just for like a really thin computer.
That's what the college students are doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why do you think that people give guys such a hard time, David, about carrying a f***ing bag?
Depends how you carry it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what's the problem? Every time I take out a bag, I'm like, this is why women always have bags. I want a bag.
Well, there's masculine and feminine things out there.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's these little bags that look like what would be a woman's clutch that are just
Yeah.
a little bit bigger
I
with a zipper. Well, that's cool.
Is this cool?
Because it's sporty. Now,
That's
if it was
fine.
Last thing I wanted to tell you that I have in this bag is these coupons for Nurungji Tongtak.
Congratulations.
I really like Nurungji Tongtak. I go so much that I got all these.
Great. I actually have a place in my neighborhood that does it very well. Not my neighborhood, kind of. I know a very good place that does it that I go to on the regular.
I love this.
It's in a tent, and they make it in the back of a car.
What's your favorite restaurant in Itaewon, David?
in Itaewon right now, it's got to be the spot I don't know the name of. The all you can eat on Mondays and Thursdays.
Let's go get it.
Kogi Jeep,
Yeah.
right now.
Wow.
Right now.
Go get.
Kogi.
Yeah, right. There's
Go
like a
get it.
shit at the end of that, right?
Well, it is gogi.
But
Yeah.
it says Googie
Well,
Jib, right?
Yeah, but that's just a
Why does he do that?
technicality. Just,
We just found out that your wife owned one of those.
well, she was kind of the HBC gogi chip in HBC, the original. She was like one of the
The OG.
original partners in that. So yeah,
That's cool.
and that was actually I was actually the person that named that restaurant and
Googie.
the HBC gogi. Yeah, and set up the logo for it and did a lot of the
creative.
creative
Nice.
side of it.
I used
yeah.
to eat there all the time.
Because if you just named it gogi chip, like just like meat house,
Yeah.
you can't copyright it. Because
Is that why you put the pachim?
no, that's why we put HBC in front of it.
Oh.
Because the HBC signifies that there's something specific about it that differentiates it. Because you can have a gogi chip anywhere in the
You
country.
can have a meat house anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you can't define and say this is ours and nobody else can have it.
Yeah.
But HBC, we could put a stamp on it.
Yeah.
Well, I miss having it there, but we got the favorite coffee house there, La Chienne Blanc.
Yes. Now it's a bakery and Kpop.
There's another Le Cafe. Is that still there?
Le Cafe's still there.
So there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was there
Yeah.
last week.
And then you've got the Moroccan
He's
sandwich
a sweet guy
place.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wahid is killing it with that place and also his other new place,
Mhm.
Moro Coco.
Smashing it.
Yeah,
The
it's
terrace
huge.
is insane.
Yeah,
He still has the best wine at the best price.
yeah,
Yukchonam.
and the best beard in the whole neighborhood.
That's right.
Oh, I thought you
Full
said the-
effect.
Best beer.
Oh, he's probably got a good beard too.
No.
I say, is Bonnie's is still doing a killing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got lines out the door.
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Malcolm always seems to have pretty good selection of beer in there.
Yeah.
I always see Malcolm. Is that Malcolm with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
He's always running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
always-
running or riding. I just drove by there the other day. He's riding his bike.
For people who have never visited our little neighborhood, yeah, Bonnie's is one of those places that just every day there are like 30 people waiting outside in line.
Yeah.
And Malcolm is constantly running from the first floor to the basement, and he's just jacked. He's just
Jacked.
constantly
And-
moving.
Never wears a jacket. In wintertime, always wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's very, very fit fellow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
fit
for sure.
fellow.
He's got a really cute kid. Oh, this is the HBC special.
Well, we've all got history with HBC.
Yeah.
We've all got a bit of history. Before we do go on with the podcast, because we can keep going on like this forever and ever and ever, we haven't really suitably introduced David.
Yeah.
We're going to have some listeners and viewers out there who may not know who David is.
Yeah.
If they don't know, they need to know.
If they don't know,
Yeah.
them.
well,
Ask somebody.
I'm sick and tired of people not
Oh
knowing
my God.
David McInnis. There's not that many of you left. But
well. We do have an international audience here.
okay.
So there
Well,
are
he's-
some people out
Does he
there.
not look like an international man of mystery?
Nobody knows who I am.
He does. He does look like an international man of mystery. Now,
Okay, before he introduces himself, I want to say the first time I saw David, I knew he had to be an actor.
Mhm.
This guy looks like he was
Come
designed
on,
to
man,
be an
come on.
actor.
We met over at the GS25.
Oh,
over beers.
we met at the GS25.
Yeah, on the way to the Pocket Bar, right?
Oh, with the twins? Oh, not the
No,
twins.
not the twins, but the Robbie
The
and Bobby.
Sandrins. Oh, with Robbie and Bobby.
Yeah,
Robbie and
I
Bobby.
think
Also,
that's
two
where we
people
met.
who
sound like
look
twins.
similar who don't actually
Yeah.
aren't twins.
They're not twins, but
I thought
they
I met
have-
you with the Sandrin brothers, or I thought I met you at that old like Pojang Matcha that is closed now that was on the end of that little alley in Gyeongnidan. I was with a couple girls who were like, holy, that's David McInnis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We met there, but we finally was like talking and stuff like that by the GS25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a few beers.
Hmm.
beers at the GS25.
Oh, yeah. Gotta do it.
But you can't do that anymore.
How did you break the ice?
I think I don't know.
Just around the neighborhood,
There was somebody
guys
else.
like me
There was
and him.
somebody else that broke the ice for you, or was it just like, hey, you seem like a cool guy. Let's. Have
I
a
think
beer."
it's impact. Well, we were all there. I think it was more like get a beer and go over the pocket, back and forth. We were back and
And
forth.
we just got so many mutual friends.
Yeah.
And stuff. You're friends with the Sandrins. I've
yeah.
known the Sandrins for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And Robbie and Bobby, he
Yeah.
knows them. And
And then I saw you online rapping.
You all know
Ah,
this.
really?
Dude, I was like blown away. I was like,
cool.
who is this? This is crazy.
No,
Yeah. So I really like your music.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
it's cool.
You all know the Sandrins.
I've known the Sandrins for like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I met them in Bundang when I first moved to Korea. Yeah. I wanted to ask them to be on the show one day.
Oh, they should come on. They're great.
Yeah, they would be awesome. But yeah, I just met them randomly at like a I think Pub 210 in Bundang, like
Pub
10 years
210.
ago when I first moved here.
Pub
That's,
210, that rings a bell. I
And
know
it was
people-
comedic how much larger they were than me. The Sandrins are big Korean American basketball players out
Yeah,
here. For everyone who
you'd
doesn't know.
like come up to their ankles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teeny boy I am.
Indeed.
But you can still take them to the hoop.
I can still hoop a little bit. I'd rather throw him an alley-oop. I'd rather throw him an alley-oop, though. All right, let's let him introduce himself now, right?
What?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Tell us about
There's no
what
one-
do you
there's-
call yourself?
There's no one better to introduce themselves
Really?
than themselves.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. David.
Yes.
Dave.
Mhm.
From Wisconsin. Grew up in Hawaii too. Moved out here. Officially moved here 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Been acting for a long time. Since 97. What else?
Damn.
What else? That's about it.
1997.
Yeah. 1997, man.
So
So
that's
you're-
all you do is act.
yeah.
So,
It's
Wisconsin.
the dream.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
What?
Central Wisconsin.
So, okay, tell a bit about your family background.
Half Korean, half German Irish. American, German Irish.
What's the
Wisconsin?
why Wisconsin? What
My dad was
military?
yeah, he was stationed over here,
Mhm.
over at Yongsan.
Yep.
Yeah, met my mom in Itaewon.
What year was this?
70, 71.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then got married. They came back to Wisconsin. We lived in Green Bay. Well, I was born. Then we lived in Green Bay.
So you were born in the States,
Green Bay.
but I can't imagine there are many Koreans in Wisconsin.
No, it was tough for my mom. It
I was
tough.
going to say that must,
Yeah.
well, not just for your mother, but also like growing up as half
Yeah.
Korean yourself.
Yeah.
Like that must have been really difficult in the Midwest, especially in somewhere like Wisconsin.
Yeah. One of the first generations, I think. Yeah, there was nobody up there. Plus, then we moved from Green Bay, which was, about 150, 200,000 people, and I moved to Antigo, Wisconsin. Antigo's 9,000 people, farmer town. My first job was gathering maple syrup. Second job was grading potatoes in the field. So I did all that farm work because my dad had a tavern in about 8 miles outside of town. So I never really lived by anybody. I was always in the country.
So this is when you were still a teenager?
Yeah. And then, but in between that, every summer I would go to Hawaii,
Mhm.
or then I would go to school in Hawaii because my mom and dad split up when I was 5. Then I'd go to Hawaii.
And mom moved to Hawaii.
Yeah. And then I went there. There's discrimination everywhere. You think Hawaii, I got discriminated on there too. So it's like you can have it anywhere. And then I would go back and forth. And then I finally graduated high school in Hawaii. Yeah.
It was tough on you being a kid in Hawaii.
Well, you know what? I actually had a moment where I thought I was trying to fit in Wisconsin, to try to be, got into sports, got into basketball, because that actually saved me because it gave me sort of a little thing, right? It was terrible though. I was the worst player every year.
But you're
Huh?
you're good now. I don't think
Bro, I had to play like 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day. I came home one day and I was like, Dad, there's this game called basketball. I love it. It's great. I was in the 6th
Yeah.
grade. Oh, no, 5th grade. That was terrible. Always last one picked. All that for almost 4 years until my freshman year, and then I started getting better.
Yeah,
But you
because
gotta
I've never
work on
played
it.
with you, but I've seen your stat line in our basketball league
Oh,
a
yeah?
couple times be all right.
Oh yeah,
You've dropped a 20 piece before, right?
I had a good guy dishing me the ball.
Yeah. Who was passing you the ball that day?
That was that ex-pro basketball player. What's his name? Rich.
Oh yeah. Oh man, he'd be sick to have on the podcast too.
Yeah.
That dude, Rich, was the first Korean American ever to be drafted for the KBL. Right?
Yeah, and he's
Richard
insane.
Kim?
Kim, right?
Not Kim. It's
Han.
Richard
Oh,
Hunt.
Richard Hunt.
Richard Hunt. And
Bro,
he was involved with a basketball clinic school
Yeah.
out here. Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
still teaching in LA.
He's gone back to the
No.
States though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy.
Dude,
good
that guy is like Korean Kyrie, man.
Yeah, he could do anything
He
on the
can
court.
handle. That guy is really sick. He was passing you the ball that day?
Yeah. So, that's
Yeah, that's great.
I'm open.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
But-
he's being double teamed.
Yeah. But that was a really competitive league that it's called Project Ball. And
Mhm.
so that was a good league. And, it was fun to get out there with those guys. They're all much younger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was 2 years ago. So I was 46, 45.
Oh,
But
man.
I was happy to be around with you guys.
You're
Yeah.
46.
I'm 47 now, I think. Yeah, 73, 47.
An inspiration to us all.
Yeah, 47.
I feel like everyone looks young for their age that I hang around. And sometimes I think it might be because we're in Korea and we're eating healthier than maybe some of my
We're pick-
American 46 and 47-year-old friends. Or maybe it's just because I'm getting older. So I
Probably
don't know.
pip- maybe we've pickled ourselves with like soju from.
Soju's the
Earlier
key.
on.
That is it.
You're a soju guy,
Soju
right?
and panchan.
Yeah.
And the kimchi.
You're Irish and Korean.
Yeah.
You could probably
Yeah,
put them
yeah.
away, right?
Well,
Between the.
I was wondering if
Yeah.
that was going to be problematic to say, but
Yeah. No, of
No,
course
right?
not. Of course not. Yeah, the soju. The whiskey you can't do very well these days.
yeah,
Can't do it.
you get the red cheeks.
I only get red cheeks when I've been drinking too much and it's my body saying, you're done.
Yeah,
You get the flush face. I'm like, what the?
yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to me one time. I think the only one time I got real alcohol poisoning.
Mhm.
This girl invited me over to spend
Spend some time?
Christmas
Spend the night?
holiday with her family.
And
No,
you're
with her
trying to
family.
impress her.
No, her father was impressed and her mother was impressed by how much soju I could drink.
Oh, she's
And the-
Korean.
And the mom made a joke about how I could outdrink the dad. And the dad did not like that.
Yeah.
So he went to
He's like, it's unlike Donkey Kong now.
He went to the other room and brought out some baijiu.
Oh,
And
yeah.
baijiu is like Chinese soju. But it's like twice as much alcohol.
That's deadly.
And I'll be honest, I put him to bed with the baijiu.
For
too.
real?
I had just got back from China.
Uh-huh.
I did like
That sounds
30
strong.
concerts in China, so I was getting good at drinking the baijiu.
That's good.
By the end of the night, he was asleep on the kitchen table, and your boy was hurting but trying to pretend
Mhm.
like I wasn't that drunk because I was trying to impress the mom,
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom, pulled up my shirt because I felt like I was really hot, and
Uh-huh.
it looked like someone had thrown red paint all over my body.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, it was
Jesus
bad,
Christ.
man.
The next day?
No, that night I was starting to get like splotches all over my body.
Just out of curiosity, how did it go with the girl?
It was fantastic.
Well, I tell you.
Like long term.
Well, we're not together anymore.
Okay.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling though. Have you heard that? That's the test. They drink and to see how you are drunk because your true colors come out when you're drunk.
Really?
Yeah.
So they get you drunk, and they want to see.
That's-
so you
that was-
passed.
Really?
Well, I've heard of people being put in that situation before and completely dropping the ball and being an absolute asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and it's essentially like we're getting married, and the dad's like, "All right, let's get drunk," and he's like turning around to his daughter like 2 weeks later and saying, "You're not getting married to this guy. He's an asshole."
Whoa.
He gets drunk and he starts, acting out and talking like a bastard and like just saying things he shouldn't be saying and being disrespectful. And it's like ruined relationships before.
Whoa.
But
I'm a happy drinker.
But I think I do think there's some sense to it because,
Mhm.
It's a good idea.
I've seen people get drunk and it will ruin families. Like people can really act out when they get drunk. And that's blood talking. When you have blood relationships, people can.
Yeah. Then you get the guy going like the face.
Yeah.
You don't want the
Oh
face.
yeah. You don't want
The face.
you don't want the person like 2 drinks in and they're looking at your forehead rather than your eyes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's not alcoholism is not funny, of course, but there is just I really feel like as much as I've drank, I would have known by now if I was going to be one of those people that alcohol was going to destroy.
Yeah.
And there's
But we have
there's some people who the second they have a drink, you can tell. I can see it in their eyes, like
But also
they got it.
we have moments in life where things change. I find I found in my life there's periods in life where you're like, I'm good. I don't need alcohol. I don't need it as a crutch. But then you have some turning points in life. It could be a mental issue you're dealing with. It could be a personal issue, an emotional issue, where your hand starts reaching for the bottle more often than not to try and help you get through. It becomes a crutch.
Mhm.
And that's where people, it's not just something internal. where you rely on alcohol, but there are issues outside of that, external issues where people can become reliant on it. So it's not just by looking at a person, you can say that person's got it. You know?
Yeah, but you get what I mean though? Like
I know,
the
absolutely.
difference.
I do know what you mean, but there's also people it could be a turning point and it's like turning a switch on
Yeah.
and it could change for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you lose someone that you're particularly close to, like that could just be you falling off the edge.
But what I'm saying is I think I drink like someone who lost someone.
Are you
Like every week.
You like that normally?
At least a couple times a week.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just saying, I don't think I got it.
Well,
Like,
I
don't
have
that.
seen that TikTok that you did put up.
But that
I
was
didn't
a
see it. Let me see it.
celebratory. It's because TikTok kicked me off.
He got banned from TikTok because of that TikTok.
What? You did not.
My
In
first,
30 minutes.
and my first day on TikTok.
Are you guys being serious?
Yeah, I got banned from TikTok.
Dead serious.
But I got like 10,000 views on my first post. I just did the dance.
Did you get naked?
Yeah, I was New Year's Eve and I like covered my stuff with a wine bottle. But
I guess it
yeah,
wasn't
was
enough.
just funny.
It didn't look like he'd covered it. It didn't look like it was covered.
Do you do TikTok?
No.
Why don't you use TikTok?
It's a lot, you know. I mean, it's a new platform to learn and get on and upload it. I mean, nowadays we live in all the apps we got going on our phone. For me, honestly, it just got to pick up a new app and figure it out and then actually do
Overwhelming.
something. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's overwhelming.
I thought about it,
Yeah.
but I can't.
It was a sign. TikTok banning me was a sign. I don't need you, TikTok.
You
Out.
said it. So from living in Wisconsin
Mm-hmm.
and Hawaii, going backwards and forwards, what brought you into acting? What took you into that direction?
Moved to New York in '97, trying to find myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then,
Really?
Yeah.
You said that? I want to find myself?
Pretty much. Had joined the Air Force after high school. I mean, God, I haven't talked about this in a long time. Joined the Air Force. Thought it was a good idea. Wasn't that great? Then got out and I went back to Hawaii and I was going to community college, trying to catch up on because I missed so much school. And I got to get to school and started selling clothes and selling cars and stuff. I was like, this is not the life I want. I was like, when I was 18, I wanted to go to New York, but things happened. I didn't go. So I said, I know if I go to New York, I'll go to college, I'll figure it out. So 3 months later, I got on the plane and went out there. It was great. Greatest decision in my life.
And you were waiting tables at the beginning,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. How you know?
We got a one sheet.
Was New York about acting or was it just about purely New York?
New York, go to school, go to Wall Street, maybe get a job down there.
Mhm.
That was my plan. That was just get to New York.
But a director discovered you while you were waiting tables.
Yeah, so I down there it's great. When you get no internet, 1997, just coming out of the 80s, 90s, it's just a great time to be in New York City,
Mhm.
downtown. The only way that you could find the apartment or get a job is through the Village Voice. Okay,
Yep.
so you'd have to. You lived over there?
I've been in New York, but I know the Village Voice, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd have to wake up real early on Wednesday, grab it because it was sold out by 7, 8 a.m.
Mhm.
I mean, it would be gone
It's
off
like
the
Craigslist.
It'd just be on the street.
Well,
It's like Craigslist in newspaper form.
yeah, the original.
But it
The
had like
original
page 6
Craigslist?
in there. It had like all the news. But you go to the back section and it had everything. So I got my first job at Figaro Cafe there, or at Scratch actually, and then Figaro Cafe. Then I never forget, I got fired for giving this girl a milkshake. The guy was like, "Did you give her a milkshake?" We hang out after work and have a drink. So I was like, "Yeah, we gave her a milkshake." He was like,
Oh, he fired you for giving her a
Yeah.
free milkshake.
"Yeah."
Wow.
I was like, "Okay." So then
I thought there was something inside the milkshake that got you fired.
"Oh no, I wouldn't go there."
No,
Yeah.
I thought like a bug or something.
I wasn't like the Serpent King. What's that new movie?
I
on
haven't
Netflix?
watched that
It's-
yet, but
That's
people
crazy.
say,
This guy's just always putting the magic potion in a drink, and the person.
whoa, really?
Anyway, I went down there, and then I got a job. I was out drinking. I didn't have a job, and this waitress said, "Hey, you should work at Indochine. I just got a job there. You'd be perfect there." So I went in there, and that place was just a really, really good place to just develop me and just figure things out, figure life out.
Mhm.
And then the director came in that restaurant, Indochine.
And he just liked the way you looked.
I I think so. I think he actually had drinks last week about it. And he said, like, he was like, yeah, I observed you. And like, and he asked me, I'm casting for a movie. I'm director.
Mhm.
Would you like to audition for the film? I go, no. I was like, no, I'm not an actor. I don't want to do
Oh, so
that.
you weren't an actor
Mm-mm.
until this
Yeah.
guy asked you to be in this film.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, and I went back, and everyone else is actors. All the waitresses and waiters, they all want to be actors and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try and go to this audition. And then, anyway, so that, long story short, did the movie. That director is a big star here, a big director here.
Mhm.
John H. Lee, John, coming to them. And then I really loved it. But then it's like, go to school, go figure it out. So I went to all these academies and stuff like that, and then struggled along the way. And it's just, hit and miss, audition, go to school, this and that.
What was
Really
it like?
never got a break.
What was it like acting in a serious movie with no acting experience?
Just listen to the director. Every word he says, just do what he says. You got to really listen, And I just tried to, fortunately, I had a director that was an actor's director. He took the time to, he wrote the script. He knew exactly. And he knew what kind of tools I had just from my personality and the way I interact with him, with other people.
Mhm.
So he kind of, it was really good. And I was so young. You're so young at 23.
Yeah.
You're so palpable at 23, right?
Yeah.
So it was, I think, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. For anybody out there who's like 23 and thinks that it's the end, it hasn't even begun yet.
Yeah.
Hasn't begun
Yeah.
yet.
It hasn't
Exactly.
begun. It has not. The average kid is just graduating from university at that age.
Yeah.
So it really is the beginning of your.
23 is the new 13.
Seriously. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, but then what's up with these 13-year-olds? It's like going on 23. Like
Yeah.
they know everything now. With your kids, how old are they?
The world is in their pocket.
4 and 3, and it's like, my 3-year-old's like, Dad, can you buy me an iPad? And it's like, you what? You're already asking for an iPad? But like, it's just amazing the things they already know what to do and how to do them. It's like
The iPad is the new Etch-a-Sketch.
I didn't even think of it like that.
23 is the new 13. The iPad is the new Etch-a-Sketch.
This world is going crazy. It's going crazy.
Yeah.
What was the move to Korea? What was why did you come to Korea?
Well, it all started back with that first movie, actually. That first movie was a Korean American film, Korean American director, Korean cash. So it's all funded by what was it called? Tube Entertainment at the time, and it came over to Busan Film Festival, won best something film, best newcomer
nice.
film, whatever. I went to Busan. That led to TV commercials here and a lot of stuff. 99, 2000, 2001. I did a movie with Chanyeok and not Chanyeok, Kwon Sang-woo.
Yep.
And but we couldn't finish it.
Oh, really?
It was like the first movie we shot. I did action school for 9 months at Seoul Action School, and we lost money, and we couldn't get it back. So the production ran out of money, and then it was around 2001 or 2, and I decided I'm gonna go back to New York. Went back to New York, and then pretty much ever since then, I would come for a job and go back to New York, or come for a job, go back to LA. I did that for many, many years, many years, and then in 2012. I got a break in Iris 2. I had done a couple episodes on Iris 1, but Iris 2 is when Jung Tae-won Tae-pyunim called me up, and actually during that time was weird because I was acting was not happening until I was auditioning like crazy. It wasn't booking in LA, and LA is super competitive. And I said, okay, let me go step behind the camera and produce something and figure out if I really like the whole aspect of this business, and I'll stay in. Otherwise, I'm at crossroads here. I'm like 37, 36. I need to figure it out. Got girlfriends. Like, my girlfriend's like, what are you going to do? I got things. I got pressure. And then, so I produced this thing called Broke as a Joke. That maybe broke as a joke.
Yeah.
Joke.
You spent all your money on
I
it?
sold my truck. I had a 71 Blazer. I had to sell that. Anything. But anyway, that led to being in the Asiana Short Film Festival. And since I was in Korea, they flew us here. And then I called up Jung Tae-wan Tepanim, but he was like, ironically, Daniel Henney had dropped out of the lead bad guy role. And he said, would you like to be the guy? I was like, yeah. You know,
Oh,
so that led to 13 episodes. And that was the first time that I had like a character arc and I had like a real role.
Mhm.
cool.
So
Wait, and you were
since-
36?
Since 90, like I was 36, yeah. So I've been doing
Wow.
this stuff from 97, 98.
That's
Long,
wild.
Yeah. That was my first break after the first break.
Wow.
Right?
So it took another 13 years for you to get your second break.
Yeah.
So prior to that, it had been a lot of backwards and forwards, a lot of flying into Korea to film, back to the States,
Yeah.
just kind of waiting for opportunities to arise.
Just sort of working here and not staying here.
Mhm.
Like, oh, well, I'm just going to go back there and try and make it, or I'm comfortable. You know, life has you or whatnot. You just
Yeah.
go back home. And then around 2016, I was just like, you know what? It's nice in Korea.
Mhm.
It's real nice. And, you know, the rat race over there and LA wasn't really appealing me too much. And it was just good timing. So I started spending more time out here. In 2018, I got my first apartment, I got a car, and I got settled.
Mhm.
Now I don't even think about LA. But
Yeah.
I mean, I still audition for things back home. I just did one. I'm preparing for one for tomorrow, and I think I did one last week. So I still have auditions. So nowadays,
Just a lot of self tapes.
self-tape. Everyone can
Yeah.
self-tape now.
Yeah.
So it's
Do you memorize it every time?
I do. Actually, that's funny. Yes, that. Yeah, I'm not the guy that to read it off the page and
Really?
like, yeah.
It from my experience, it seems like out in the States, a lot of people expect you to have your sides kind of in your hand.
Yeah, well, yeah, it depends if you want to have it in your hand. For the first read, you
Mhm.
can have it in your hand. A lot of times that's better because I feel like it's not your best read. You
Yeah.
have it in your hands and you use it.
Yeah, I tried the reason I asked is because I got asked to do an audition for a Netflix thing.
Uh-huh.
And I went in, but I only had 2 days. But and I knew I could memorize it because I memorized my rap lyrics quickly.
Yeah.
And I memorized the whole thing. And they were like, we can tell that you're just trying to remember the lines in your head. You should just read it so that you can actually
Okay. Yeah.
focus on the emotion instead of focusing on trying to like remember all of the words.
Right.
So I was just really impressed. It's crazy that people can do that
It's like
so fast.
in my experience in Australia, they want you to go in, they want you to be off the paper when you go into an audition. So you can't have a script
Is that
with
right?
you, yeah,
Mhm.
in the audition. But then I've been to the States and I've taken classes over there, and they're like, they want you to they even want you to look down and come up off the paper. Look down and come up off the paper is what I've been
They
taught
want
over
you
there.
to do that?
That's what I've been taught. Like it's
Is that
look down-
auditioning class?
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
been to, yeah.
Yeah, look down and then come up. Look down and come up. And that's how I was taught.
That's a great technique though, because they're teaching you, hey, because it's pilot season right now. You're going to have 3, 4, 5 auditions. You're going to have 2 a day maybe when it was really
Mhm.
busy back then. And they're going to want you to be able to just have that technique and grace. And that's great that they were teaching you that. That's great. It's hard.
But you still like to try to memorize everything.
I'm terrible doing it off the page. So I have to just know like the whole thing in my head,
Mm.
you know, and just try to figure it out.
Oh, that's impressive.
That's exactly what it is, though. I think it works differently for each person. Has a different way of doing it themselves.
Yeah. Totally.
Like some people, if you have a great partner to work with, you can do it that way. Some people just get in their head and just memorize it really well. Some people are just really at memorizing things.
Yeah.
So some
Yeah.
people are just really good at going off the paper.
I think it's just technique, right? It's like
Yeah.
what works for you. Even acting wise, what works for you? You know, there's so many different ways to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So which role was that? The one that had the 13 episodes?
Iris too.
And then from there, you've
Just
just
so grateful for that show. That was
yeah.
yeah.
And since then, you've had a lot of different roles, right?
Yeah. That was then Descendants of the Sun was the big one.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was
I mean,
a good role.
that show was huge internationally. I mean,
It's crazy.
amazing. Like, you know, everyone you talk to, Descendants of the Sun, everyone watched that show. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm sure for yourself that just would have blown up and your star value, your brand would have just developed because of that. What kind of flow on did you experience?
Man, when I finished, man, I was dead broke when I finished that Descendants of the Sun. So I had to go back to.
How come?
Just honestly, there was only so much money that we were getting paid, and Song Joong-ki got hurt, and then the production went an extra couple months. That means my scenes got extended, so I wasn't gonna make a lot of money anyway. And then I basically came back and I started driving Uber. So I got an Uber. I think I never told this story.
Whoa.
So so I started driving Uber when I got back to LA. So I'm like, I'm doing Uber and I'm gonna do this. So I'm driving around, doing all, and
you were famous.
Wait. So
The show hasn't been to
I'm
air
sorry.
yet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm doing this in January.
Yeah.
And then I think it released January 28th or February 28th.
Okay.
And then it started blowing up, right? And my Instagram was going from 700 followers to like 7,000, 12,000. My friend John Kim's calling me, Dave, your Instagram was like, what's this show was like, dude, get back here. I'm like, I really can't right now. I'm driving Uber, man.
John, basketball John?
John Kim, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving, I'm just boom, boom, boom. And then people were getting in the car. And you're like, oh. And I was like, okay, I need to get back to Korea, man. I need to get to Korea somehow. This is ridiculous. I got to get back. So I borrowed like $5,000 from my mom. And then I just flew out. And that was it. Then I went out, I stayed, and walked up Gangnam-yeok.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Like everyone, and I was like, oh, this is nuts. So.
Wow, that's
was,
crazy.
Yeah.
Were there's Korean people in the taxi saying, oh?
Yeah, I could. Oh.
Well, yeah, I knew. It's like a lot of not everyone does that in LA. Oh,
Yeah.
that had to be a Korean thing, right?
That's crazy.
That must have been a little unusual, like having that happen.
It was, everything was unusual.
Did you like it?
Everything was. Did I like it? Yeah, it was like it was a successful show, man. I did something right. Like it was like we all did something right, and
Yeah.
timing was good. Everything kind of worked, right? And then this business, timing has to be right on.
Yeah.
Everything has to work. And then it's got to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, it was huge for everyone.
Did you enjoy being recognized and well known all of a sudden?
In the early 2000s, like I was pretty before there was internet here, and I had this huge TV commercial called UTO, and it was SK Telecom is big small phone, and normally back then they only had actors do it, but they had me do it, and dude, it was pretty big, and I remember not being gone from Korea and coming back a couple years later, and man, fame is so temporal.
It's crazy.
It's so temporal.
Right?
They don't. You're hot one minute, you're not the next. So I had experienced that.
Yeah.
So when all this stuff is happening in 2016, I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is great. How can I put myself in the right situation?
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're gonna forget about you, which is true because after a couple of years, it's like you're not really.
Yeah.
No one's. It's a wave, man.
It really is.
It's a roller coaster.
It's like that everywhere. I mean,
Is it like that in every country? I thought it was just. You know what I thought
Yeah,
it
but
is?
it's like you look at. I think for example, look at someone like Tom Cruise. If he stops making movies,
Bro,
and
everywhere he goes, people are stopping.
yeah. But once he stops making movies and takes a break from the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna stop recognizing him as much as they are now.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about you have to maintain a position in the public's eye. You have to keep being on television or in film, or if it's music, you have to keep doing something.
Yeah.
I think to maintain that level, obviously you're going to have fans who are always going to be there for you, but to kind of be in that mainstream, you've got to be doing something at that level consistently. Look at athletes. Once you retire, you fall off a bit. It's always going to be there.
It's like every 2 years I do a show that gets me like recognized or something.
Mhm.
And it's crazy. Like a month after it's not on TV anymore, no one stops me. Like some people stop me for music stuff, but it's small.
Sure.
But when I'm doing the shows, it's like, almost every day.
Because there's that many more people watching it. It's just, it's mass media. Mass media. It has a mass market of people that are actually seeing it. Yeah. that's the way it works.
I just always wonder if it's because they're like Korean people are shy to come up to you if they don't know, if they can't say like, oh, I saw you on Sign Here yesterday, or oh, I saw you on YouTube Charles or whatever, that they don't know what to say. You know what I mean?
Possibly that could have a little bit of an impact on it, but I think just in general, like
You just have to
I
be
experience
on
it
all the time.
If you're not like if you take a break, people come up to you and they're like, oh, I don't see you on TV these days.
You too?
Yeah, like if, for example, I was doing radio for a few years and I wasn't doing TV, and they're like, "Oh, you're not in the industry anymore." And it's like I do radio like 7 days a week, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I just thought you were taking a break,"
No.
because they don't see you on television.
So we all
That's
feel
what they
it, yeah.
expect. Yeah, the expectation of where you should be
Expectations,
is not there anymore.
Do you have a show out right now?
No.
But you got a lot of stuff on Netflix still, right?
I think so, yeah. I think it's still there.
Mr. Sunshine was
Yeah.
another show that was big for you as well, though.
That was my first good guy role.
Oh, yeah?
First supportive to the main, like actually doing it for how many years? That was the first time I ever got a role was supporting the protagonist role.
Yeah.
What's that like? I mean, being a bad guy, I'd find you get a different reaction from the public as well. Like the people come up and kind of, because I find a lot of people kind of get caught up in the drama and tend to kind of forget that you're an actor at times.
They can be, they just, you were bad. You were bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, playing the antagonist role, it's sometimes a lot easier because you can do whatever the heck you want to do.
Mhm.
All you got to do is, your main focus is to disrupt everything, get what you want.
Yeah.
Whereas like, when you're playing with the best friend of the protagonist, you're supporting that guy as much as you can. So for me, it was pretty hard. But the reaction from people, I think doing that role in Mr. Sunshine, Kyle Moore, helped people's like whatever they thought of me.
Mhm.
It definitely kind of maybe helped a little bit. They didn't see me such as the evil guy, or if I came across.
Why
as
do you
evil,
think
I
you're
don't know.
always cast as a bad guy?
I have no idea, dude.
Yeah.
idea.
I think you look nice. So nice.
The last thing you want is to get typecast, though. Like
Yeah.
it's good to play the good guy. You don't want to be the bad guy all the time.
And which I played all the time for
Yeah.
19, 20 years.
No, you don't want that.
Have you ever had to get fat or like super swole for a role before?
No, not really. I'm not really. I didn't have to really. I don't have a huge resume actually. For as much as I've been doing this, so I don't think that I've had the opportunity to have these roles where I need to get really super skinny or super fat or whatever. I hope they'll come in the future, but right now I'm just serving my storyline and the whole gambit of the whole show.
Mhm.
Yeah. Still struggling.
So what for you would be the perfect role? If you could choose any role to play, what would be the role you want to play?
That's so.
It's gonna be like a boxer or something. That's what I always think
Well,
of
let-
when I think about like a transformational
Really?
role. Is a boxer, right?
I don't like. For me, it's more of less of. See, that for me is a physical change. I'm
Yeah.
thinking more of a mental. Like from an actor's perspective, it's
Thriller, a true story.
a thriller, true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Really?
That would be really cool to get in
To get deep into that character.
and have to play it
Yeah.
as authentic as possible. That
Mhm.
would be insane.
What's
That would
the
be a-
documentary about Jim Carrey pretending to be
Man on the Moon.
yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch that. That is so good.
Oh, man.
Mm.
He goes so deep into becoming that guy, like pissing off of his like family and friends and everyone on cast, pretending to be Andy Kaufman.
One of the things with roles like that, though, you obviously need a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah.
From my experience with Korean productions, you generally don't get a lot of time to
Yeah,
prepare
exactly.
for
Yeah.
your roles.
Dude, that made me want to be an
No.
actor. You should watch that for
What's
some
it?
inspiration.
Man on the Moon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That you've seen
No,
You haven't seen that?
no.
Oh, you guys should definitely watch that.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Have to check it out.
That made me want
I-
to do one.
To be honest, Jim Carrey I'm not really high on Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I probably
What, like
haven't
new
seen
Jim Carrey or old
Just
Jim
in
Carrey?
general.
Just in
it.
general.
Just in general. I probably should look at it because
Yeah.
Robin Williams doing 1 hour photo the movie 1 Hour Photo is one of my favorite films and like one of my favorite performances of all time.
Mhm.
So when people ever ask me if I was to do a performance, what kind of role would I want to do? Similar question. The first thing that comes to my mind is psychopath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something like that because watching Robin Williams play a psychopath, that transformation of what we expect him from doing Mrs. Doubtfire to playing a psychopath it's 180 degrees.
Wow.
And watching him play that role to perfection is like, that is what an actor does. If they do it well, they need to be able to make that transformation perfect.
Yeah.
Like without any slight, like you can't tell that that's Robin Williams. Like he's just on point.
And it's really a way to like let your guard down completely, right? If you're playing that and you're allowed to just not give a what everybody thinks about you and be a total sociopath for
It's
months on, that would be a kind of like a freeing experience.
I imagine.
It's tough.
I
It's
imagine.
tough though. It's got to be tough though.
Yeah.
If you've got family and friends though, like
Yeah.
if I had to play the role of a psychopath,
Your kids would be,
could you? I've got to go home. I've got to go home to my kids every night, and you got to like you hear about actors that stay in character.
No, you can't have a iPad. An iPad. I'll buy you an Etch-a-Sketch, but not an
But you hear about people that stay in character even when they're at home and when they're with their family, and like then you hear about people that can switch it on and off, and it's like that's impressive in itself. Like just to be able to turn it on and off.
Those are the real guys. Those are the real deals, man.
Yeah.
Those are the real deals.
Mm.
You know, those are the real deals.
So, in terms of yourself, what's upcoming for yourself? Is there anything in the works, or is there
in
anything
terms of yourself,
Like
what's
in terms-
upcoming for it yourself?
I know I'm laughing because I'm getting into the forged wheel business.
The what?
Forged wheels for your cars, for 4x4s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I manufactured some wheels, and I just had a meeting yesterday
for Fords?
for 4x4s.
4x4s.
And just big, nice wheels. I like cars,
Mhm.
so I'm getting.
You
into,
designed your own wheel?
I designed my own wheel. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I designed my own wheel and went through the whole manufacturing process, design process, all the research that needed to go into it, and then I got lucky and it came out pretty well. I shot the commercial last week. I shot all the still photos. Now and then just had a meeting yesterday with a 4x4. A guy does all Jeeps,
Mhm.
and we talked about the possibilities of me supplying wheels for him because right now he gets wheels from the States. I'm like, well, maybe you can do this. So I'm kind of involved in that right now,
Cool.
and
Wow.
and that's it, man. I mean, I did a sunglass collab with this great dreamer, and just other than that, roles only come up every once in a while. So now I'm trying to do this stuff, and then
Yep.
whatever does come up in the future, I'm doing a narration for Hyundai Racing WRC.
Cool.
They're killing it right now. They
Yeah.
are absolutely killing it with their
That's rally cars.
yeah. So I'm doing some narration.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for the script. Dang it, been waiting. I
Cool.
gotta put that thing up on Monday, and I don't know about you, man, but I need some time with it.
Yeah.
So that's about it for me right now.
That's cool. That's
awesome.
that's the way of the future. I think you have to be doing tons of different stuff.
Yeah.
You can't just.
Get
That's why I
yourself out there.
have loved doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's like when people ask me what I do, I used to just say I'm a rapper. And now I'm like I do a podcasting, do some YouTube, play some
Right.
hoops.
Yeah.
It's perfect if you've got the doing the wheels though, because Ford's got they're bringing the Bronco out soon, so there's some nice SUVs and 4-wheel drives coming out in the near future. So
Yeah,
perfect timing for that.
exactly. That's what the guy said because he's the new Ford Bronco is going to have the Ford Ranger chassis,
Mhm.
so it's very easy to interchat and swap out. Oh yeah, you know.
And it's going to look, and that's a great looking car, and I think that car is
Beautiful.
going to be incredibly popular. You can pop the doors off pop the roof off
Oh.
it, so it's going to be like one of those great cars.
Are you getting
Just-
one?
I was actually, as soon as the release came up, I just bought a new car and I was looking at it. I'm like, oh dear me, I just bought a new car, and then I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, the car I've got now is kind of big. Maybe I sell this car and change it because it just feels like a fun car.
Oh, it looks amazing.
It just feels like it'd be a fun car just to have. Just, I've got 2 kids and I think they'd love to drive around in a car like that when the weather's good.
Heck yeah.
Take the doors off, take the roof off. And yeah, I'm seriously considering it right now.
It's dope. It's dope. Yeah.
Just briefly, in terms of acting, are you looking at getting into the behind cameras production?
Production? Yeah, for sure. What am I doing? I directed a commercial for 4Win. It's a sports clothing brand about a year ago. And I have this other production company. We did some behind the scenes for Buha and things like that. We did some making of the song and all that stuff. And, slowly moving more towards just keeping busy, man. Just keeping busy.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for making time for us.
Thank you.
That's the way to be. It's great to see that there are a lot of, when you talk to people in the industry, it is a difficult industry.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a job where there's always regular work on. So you have to keep yourself busy and you have to find projects and you have to put yourself out there. And it's great to see that you're actually being proactive and doing that because
thanks, man.
Otherwise you tend to sit around and twiddle your thumbs more often than not.
And waiting for that phone call can be a really lonely island.
Yeah. That's the hardest part with this job.
Yeah. It's great to be here with you guys. I love it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you,
David, thank you for joining us. Right now is the perfect opportunity. If there's anything else you'd like to plug, now's the time
plug
to do it.
anything?
Where can the people find you?
Where they can find me? Find me on Instagram, I guess. My full name, David Lee McInnis, McInnis.
There we go.
That's it. Yeah.
Thanks once again,
Awesome.
man. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you for joining us. Don't forget, you can find us on the YouTube at The Dive Studios. You can find us on Instagram at Dive Studios as well. You can also listen to us on Spotify Podcasts or Apple Podcasts on Apple Podcast. We appreciate all the reviews you send in, especially those with 5 stars.
Hey.
Thank you very much, everyone. David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. You guys are
Appreciate you,
awesome.
bro.
Appreciate
Have a good
it.
one.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, did you like that? There's plenty more where that came from. Subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Turn on notifications so you don't miss any more content.